Using the graph of f of x, which we have down here, graph y equals -2 times f of x minus 2 plus 3. So we're combining a whole lot of things here that we've done previously. This point down here is the only one not written, so there it is. And the first thing we need to do is just wrap our heads around what's happening here. The plus 3 on the outside means we're shifting up 3. The -2 on the inside, that's the super secret opposite society, so that means we're going right 2. The 2 out in front is a vertical stretch of 2, because we're taking all of our y values and we're multiplying them by 2. And the negative that's in front of our f of x is a negative f of x, which means we're reflecting across the the x-axis. Because it's like we're making our y's negative. We're making f of x negative, so we're making our y's negative. So it's a reflection across the x-axis. So, how are we going to do this? So the strategy that's really best, I would say, is to actually start on the inside and work your way out. What's affecting x first? The very first thing we do is we subtract 2 from our x value, and so that means that the first thing I'm going to do here is shift right 2. So I'm going to take all my points and move them right 2. -1, -4, so that's +1, -4. 1, 0 becomes 3, 0. 3, 4 becomes 5, 4. And 5, 0 becomes 7, 0. Okay? And that's just our very first step, is to move right 2. The next thing that we would do is we would have the multiplication by 2 on the outside. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to vertically stretch by a factor of 2. So this will stay where it's at, this point. This point is going to vertically stretch out by 2, so it's going to come out to -8. This stays where it's at. This one stays where it's at. This one goes all the way up to 8. Okay, and hopefully you still can see where this part is the straight lines. Here's our parabola. Next, we want to reflect across the x-axis, because that's the next thing closest, is that negative. Okay, because order of operations, right, we would multiply by the 2 before we would add 3. We would change it to negative before we would add 3. So again, these points on 0, they get to stay where they're at, but this point down here moves up to the positive side. This one moves down to the negative side. Okay? And last, we're going to move everything up 3. So what color I haven't picked yet, let's do blue. This will be my fourth and last thing I have to do. From the pink, I go up 3, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, which is kind of off my graph a little bit. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, here are my straight lines. I feel like I missed a point somewhere. Yeah, I didn't keep track of 0, -2. But I think that's actually a straight line there anyway, so I think that's okay. 0, -2 would have ended up right here. So no big deal. And then here's my parabola. Okay, so that is after a shift right of 2, vertical stretch of 2, reflect across the x-axis, and up 3. The order is important here, and I would just say that when you're doing it, if you're in doubt, start from what's inside and work your way out. Another thing you can do is you can actually take like x squared and graph it, and then mess with like if you did this. Okay, see how this is our original function and then we changed it to this, and just look at what each part of that does. Okay, so that to get like a more realistic idea before you actually try to do something that's a little more abstract with a function that, you know, you can't have your calculator graph.